Hey, we're here. We're back. Okay, we're gonna drill these rivets out. Yeah. This front one is getting a different stay for the Huffy because we're not going to use these. We might use these again, but for right now, for simplicity, I'm just going to drill them out. It's bent here, which needs to be straightened, and I don't know on the new fork where this hole is going to be. It's not going to be on the wheel, on the axle. It's going to be somewhere in here, and I don't really care. It's coming out. And this, even though I have slotted these majorly, these are coming out too. I got to paint this fender. I got to make it right. And I'm going to have to sand this, and that's going to rough up these rivets. And they're already really bad anyway. So let's just do the right thing. Do the right thing and modify the living bejeebies out of your fender. Okay, so let's drill these out. I think I'm gonna put this bigger drill bit in, like a 5/16. And we're just gonna drill the back side of the rivet off. I'm really tired of messing around. These have to come out. It's really not a big deal. We're just gonna drill them out. Set this so bent, it's in my way. Get that pencil out of the way. Okay. Right now the rivet is spinning. We might have to use this smaller one. The rivet is actually spinning in the fender. It's always a challenge getting these rivets out. If you're just tuning in, this is a million-part series on a Huffy Good Vibrations 5-speed conversion. Okay, that definitely went through. Yeah, that went through. Okay, this should be pretty close. There we go. I got that stay off. We're probably, I may use a different stay. I might use this stay once I straighten it. And, oh, look, the plastic is still on that's the plastic that's on the fender from 1981, between the fender and the stay. Look at that. Wow. Okay, that was interesting. All right, we may or may not use this. We might straighten it and drill a new hole here, and I'll show you about that in a second. But let's label this front so I don't get it confused with the rear, even though the rear is egged out. We'll just put a little F on here so I know that that's front. Put that over there. Okay, so this is ready for some straightening. As you can see, it's got a little like somebody has some issues with it. Yeah, somebody did something there. I think we can make it right. Okay, so that's ready for sanding and painting. We smashed that rusty part down. Okay, let's get to drilling these back rivets out. Now, we didn't have good luck with that one, so let's just keep with this little one. Now, these we did egg out when we did the fitting process, and we're going to probably use these. But I'm going to get them out of the way because we have to sand all this business. Oh, there's a pinhole in here. Look at that. There's an actual... I didn't see that. Wow. Wow, there's an actual pinhole. Okay. Well, we'll just pretend like we didn't see that. Okay, so let's drill these out. Maybe I'll epoxy that. This is way too thin to weld. And this one also has the plastic. You can see the plastic that was on the stays in 81. like that was covered in plastic and they riveted it on at the factory. That's an actual piece of plastic that was wrapped, the stays were wrapped in. Wow, okay, let's get this off. And to do that, we're going to spread these a little bit to get the drill in. Okay, here we go. That's one. It's not really a scientific process here. You just have to deal with life. Be careful when you do this stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on here, you know. It's good to have the fender, the rivet down on the workbench, not off to the side, but down. Oh, like that. Yeah, that was fun. Okay, so look at the plastic from 1981. There it is. It's a piece of history. I could sell that on eBay. So yeah, these were obviously coated with plastic before they riveted to the fender. Whatever. We'll put an R on this just to be sure. I know it's a rear one. I've already hogged these out, but we'll put a little R on here. Okay, we got that. All right, let's drill this other one out. Okay. Now, remember, try to keep the rivet down on the workbench. If you're drilling like that, that's gonna give you an issue. You need that rivet down on the workbench. That way, when it starts to spin, it'll catch something. And you can do something like this. You need that rivet to catch a little bit so you can get it out. Okay. Enough jibber jawing. Let's get this done. We got stuff to do, son. Okay, so these have a good deal of it drilled off. So now we can just move this back and forth, hopefully. And it should pop off safely. It should. Not yet. A little more. Okay, see how we did that? We just kind of spun the rivets until they were weak and drilled. And this one doesn't have any plastic on it. Interesting. Oh, even though I know this is a rear, because I've already slotted it out, we'll put a little R in here, just so we know. Okay. Oh, it did have a little tiny bit of plastic there. Very strange. I don't know what Huffy was doing with their plastic coated stays. Okay, so what do we have here? A very damaged fender, a rivet that did not pop out. Oh, there it goes. And there's a pinhole right here. We'll just ignore that pinhole. So this one is ready to be sanded. We've modified it heavily. And let's go out here and show you how we modified this. And show off my beautiful frame that I painted. There's the chain guard. Looking fly. Can't really see it because it's not really in the light. And this frame was gloss Rust-Oleum black. I used some of that. Then I used some of this metallic dark metal. And then, well, actually there's two coats of the black, and then a spritzing of this fusion metallic dark metal, and then 2 coats of gloss clear. And what we came up with was a pretty good base coat. I mean, you can't really tell it's in the light now, but yeah, it looks pretty fly. Yeah, I think we could go with that, you know. It's nice. The light does not do it justice right now. And for some reason, when you paint frames that have been out in the weather a lot, you paint them and it never fails. There's always spiders living in there that come out. There's a spider web there, there's some there, some down here. It's not from just sitting under these trees. They're in the frame. They come out through these holes and stuff. One here. I think there's another one over here. Yeah, it just kind of happens, but they're going to have to go somewhere else. Anyway, this turned out really nice. It's got the speckle action. The reason I did the metallic was because it's so lumpy from not clear bead blasting it, that we needed a little texture to kind of break up the terrible preparation. Yeah, I cheated a little, sorry. You know, it looks pretty good. I think we can dribble some yellow on this now. It's nice. Here's the fork. And the fork turned out pretty good. This is the one I got from Hearns. And nice and metallic-y. Looks pretty good. All right, let's hang that back up. Now let's fit this fender. We'll just put this fender in. I don't know if I can fit it in without ruining the paint. We might be able to see what's going on here without crunching the paint too bad. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it won't be too bad. Of course, we are going to sand the living daylights out of this and possibly do the same technique and get the metallic action. I guess I can't really, this is too thin for me to weld. I'll have to come up with something with that. I just can't. I know better. Even if I braise that, it's going to burn away. There's a lot going on there. It's just too thin. I think I'll sand it and paint it, and before I put the final on it, I'll just epoxy something in there. I know, it's bad. Okay, so these fenders are basically ready for sanding. I pounded this down. We're going to have a different bracket on that. I might even epoxy that hole, I'm not sure. These are going to stay the same, but cleaned up and sprayed silver. I might just replace this one completely or hammer these down to accept this here. This bolt will hold on the fender stay. It won't be on the front axle. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I think the paint came out pretty well. You know, like I didn't really prep anything. I did prep a little bit, but you know, this should have all been down to bare metal. But what are you talking? It's an 81 Huffy. Give me a break. Anyway, the next video we are going to yellow sprinkle it randomosely with some gravity feed ladder painting technique. You're going to love it. We're going to use this stuff and we're going to dribble it down on there. It really needs it bad. Well, that and the fenders. I haven't decided if the fenders are going to be one clear color without the random gravity paint job, but stay tuned. It's going to be fun. I thought I'd give you guys a quick look at what's going on. I mean, this is pretty nice. Besides the freeze damage right there. Yeah. We're all right. All right, peace out. Think good thoughts. Go out in your garage, work on some junk. If you don't have junk to work on, you better go get some.